doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back, just shaking our heads. But right now we're too fast to slow down, just slow down, just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. Just acting our age.
I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's Rivers' Chargers going up against Wilson's Seahawks. With that, let's get you up to Seattle. We're standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the San Diego Chargers and the Seattle Seahawks. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Wilson on first down. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? On second down, here's Wilson. And left side here, it's Graham. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
On first down, Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Curse. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And Graham's got it, complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
Yeah, maybe a little of both. To throw again is Wilson. Drops it underneath for Rawls. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. In the red zone this time. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. The connection made, it's Graham. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards a carry in production. And that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. And how about this first drive? They're being aggressive, slinging it around.
Really confident, too, because they're not trying to fool them with running plays, throwing it, and they're being very successful right now.
Again, Wilson. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down. And we'll take a look quickly at the San Diego defense.
Denzel Perryman, a linebacker out of the University of Miami, knows how to play downhill and arrive with an oomph.
Second down following the incompletion. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. Hauschka to send this one away following the score. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Rivers now to throw on first down. Throwing right, and that's complete. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Second down, Rivers. Caught left side, Williams. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. And that's going to be incomplete. And, Charles, here's the offensive lineup.
Melvin Gordon, the exciting young runner out of Wisconsin, well over 2,000 yards his last year with the Badgers. This is a guy who can catch it and run it.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how your guy's going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in together,
On 1st and 10, Rivers toward the sidelines, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. And on 2nd and 10 now. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can...
And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. 9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get it all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass, couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Partner, you noted earlier on Rawls, he was up over 100 yards in Week 13, 106 and 2 touchdowns. And afterwards, his coach Pete Carroll said, he's back. Feels like Rawls is really ready to roll.
And to me, it looked like the legs were fresh. He was active and fully engaged, which tells me that during the time he was injured, he stayed with it mentally. You know, he was in the meetings. He was out on the practice field. He knew what was going on. He wasn't just starting totally cold in this one. Came back and played really well, and that's what they need, that tailback who can grind out yards.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. And now San Diego getting set to go. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over.
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football, because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Bennett in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. Well, in tapping those toes, he tried to get both in bounds. He could not do it, though.
In tap dance parlance, could not complete the shuffle. All right, needed to get that shuffle down with both feet, not just one.
Is that what they say?
There it is. You know, put a little sand down on the stage.
I'll take your word for it, my man.
Ready?
3rd and long for Rivers. And that will be caught. It's Inman for the Charger touchdown. Dontrell Inman high in the air to bring it in. And the Chargers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They start on the ground with Rawls. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down. So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. They're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. 2nd down and 4. Slot man moves right. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it.
I think that's a great point because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
19.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. Lockett, the man in motion. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And now the Chargers are going to look up here and signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So on 4th down, here's the Canadian-born punter John Ryan to kick it away for Seattle. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Here comes the Chargers offense now back out onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
The first down throw here for Rivers. He's going to sling it, try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust. And this should be a position now where the great ones They relish this opportunity to try and put points on the board.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On second down, Rawls. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. Field goal unit not out there. They want 6 before halftime. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Now flags come in before the kick. Clearly there was contact. Who was at fault? So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this one is right down Broadway. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. And the play clock's running down. They'll run here. This is Dexter McCluster. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Michael Bennett's versatility, being able to play any position along the defensive front, allows him to make those types of plays. He finds good matchups and gets into the offensive backfield.
And there it works for a tackle for loss. Second down, Rivers. And that'll be incomplete. Dexter McCluster, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
12 yards to go on third down. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Here's Rivers surveying the field. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Rivers is going to stay out there. They're going to try for this thing on fourth down. Rivers. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. And out now come the Seahawks. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, Let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
we got
the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut him down.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas rolls. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Boy, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goalpost.
That's right.
Before you drop the ball. There you go.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Chargers offense gets set. They head back onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do. And the change it caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
On 2nd down, Rivers again. And Davis has it over the middle. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 1st down, Rivers. Caught. It's Dontrell Inman. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Really nice little connection there. They go with the corner route, and it works out well.
And the best way to set up the corner route is to throw slants throughout the ball game so that when you're able to get back outside, the defender has to respect the inside game.
Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Rivers on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Throwing again. Rivers on 2nd and 10. And nowhere to get away. Rivers is dropped. Frank Clark in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And quickly they get to the line. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Rivers. It's caught on the right side. Williams. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Josh Lambo now for the Charger field goal. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
They'll try to get the running game going with Rawls. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. A group effort there. A bunch of Charger defenders there to make the stop.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set them up.
Second down following the run. Now Wilson on second down. Forced out to his left. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be third down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Wilson, and he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Out comes the San Diego offense as they get set to see what they can do here. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Here's Gordon now on the direct snap from center. And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. Third down from the 2, fourth down lurking, but one more shot here. What do you do, Charles?
I think you run it here. Try and create some space, get your punter a little bit more room, and if you're really lucky, you get enough space to get first down. But I think right now the big thing is take care of the football, get space for your punter, and get rid of the ball.
Mr. Conservative.
Yeah, I do kind of wear that well, don't I?
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And they're going to speed things up here. They go play action here on first down. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. They'll get 16 yards there. And that'll be good for a San Diego first down. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Charger football, but they trail here as we get going in quarter number 4. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Rivers now to throw on first down. Flushed out right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. On second down, Rivers again. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. Michael Bannon in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Rivers off the play fake to Woodhead. It's hauled in here by Edmond. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
380, hurry up!
Desperation time. Rivers on 4th down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And it's 3rd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. 14. On 3rd down, Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice until you catch it, trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
And the Chargers coming out of the field now. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my...
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Bobby Wagner in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now a 2nd down throw for Rivers. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be caught at the 30. A big play there for San Diego. And even 60 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football.
Now a hit, and Rivers lost the football. And a seat through it.